Live from Las Vegas, Fox 5 News This Morning starts now.
3 have been shot, 2 are dead following a deadly fight and shooting near the Las Vegas Strip. Coming up, we'll have a live report on the investigation.
Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders went to town on each other as they met face-to-face at last night's town hall. Wait till you hear their back and forth.
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. It's
What?
just a Beastie Boys song for now, but Virgin Air is planning to change that. See their latest attempt to take travelers to space. All right, folks, good morning. I'm Jason Feinberg.
Yeah, and I'm Monica Jackson. Hey, hope your Friday's off to a good start, folks, but we're going to get you straight to the breaking news that we've been following all morning. Now, we now know that a second victim has died in the shooting near the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, let's take you live to UMC where the shooting victims were taken. 2 women were killed. Another man is expected to be okay, but is in critical condition. And we'll have a live crew at UMC all morning long, and we'll keep you updated on this developing story.
Okay, now let's check in with Fox 5's Nick LaGrange, who's live near Harmon and Las Vegas Boulevard with the very latest. Good morning, Nick.
Well, good morning, Monica and Jason. We're standing on Harmon just outside of the Cosmopolitan Valet Station, which is one of 3 different areas where Metro Police are investigating this incident this morning. Again, 3 people shot, 2 are killed. The 2 victims are female. We're going to kind of walk you through what happened here. We've got a map to show you first to kind of guide you along. Police say this originated at the Miracle Miles Shops parking garage at Planet Hollywood at 1:20 this morning. They say 6 people and 3 vehicles were involved in a fight at that location. Security at the garage broke up the fight, and police say those who were involved followed each other to the intersection of Aldebaran and Harmon. We've got video from multiple scenes. This first one is at the intersection of Aldebaran and Harmon. Police say a shooting happened at that intersection. 3 people were shot, 1 male and 2 females. Police say one of the female victims was left lying in the roadway at that intersection following the shooting. The other 2 victims drove themselves to the Cosmopolitan Valet Station seeking help. Police say those victims that came to the Cosmopolitan were taken to UMC. The male victim is in critical condition, and it appears he will survive. However, that female victim that was here at the Cosmopolitan Valet Station, she was pronounced dead at UMC. The second female victim found lying in the road at the shooting scene was initially listed in critical condition at UMC, but police told us about 5:30 this morning she passed away as well. Police did have this area closed off for some time this morning at Harmon near the Cosmopolitan. It is reopened now. We are barricaded ourselves in here, but traffic itself is actually moving through here. Normally, the Valet Station is reopened. As for that intersection at Aldebaran and Harmon, it is still closed. We expect that to be closed for quite some time today as police investigate and collect evidence from that scene where the shooting actually took place. And they are also looking at video, security video from Planet Hollywood at the Miracle Mile Shops, trying to figure out exactly who they're looking for in this. They do not have suspects ID'd at this time. They don't have a suspect description, don't have vehicle descriptions yet to tell us about as far as the suspects go either. So we are waiting for that information. Once we get that, we'll pass it along. We don't have identification on the victims either. Once we get that information, we'll, of course, update this story with that as well. But a lot to piece together here, a very large area that police are working this morning. And again, if you're coming through here this morning, you'll be fine. If you're at Aldebaran and Harmon, though, you will be rerouted. Monica and Jason.
You know what, Nick, great job out there. We know it's a very fluid situation. Information still coming in. It's going to be a while. So thank you for that live report.
Yeah.
And, of course, folks, remember, you can follow us online as well, fox5vegas.com for the very latest. And we're going to check in with Nick throughout the morning.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, 7:04 right now. So a completely unrelated situation happened near Tropicana and Jones. Take a look, folks. A person was rushed to UMC in serious condition after a possible hit and run. Now, no details on what actually caused this incident. The roads have reopened in that area as police finish up their investigation. And again, we're going to continue to update you this morning as more information becomes available. Also log on to fox5vegas.com for the very latest. Good grief.
Right?
Can we take a breath?
Not to mention, that's just another crime spree that's happened on that intersection.
Yep.
It's just terrifying.
It's terrifying. It really is. All right, 7:05 right now, and we are not done. Jonesy is standing by with a quick look at the Fox 5 weather 24/7 forecast. Please tell us you have some good news, Jonesy.
I have good news for today, you guys. We're getting rid of the strong winds that we had yesterday. Those howling winds even toppled over trees, wreaking havoc across the valley today. Much calmer conditions, and we are starting out the morning at 48 degrees. Mostly clear skies out there, nice calm winds. We will pick up some breezes throughout the afternoon. Wind speeds 10 to 20 miles an hour, but nothing compared to what we experienced yesterday with those wind gusts into the 40 to 60 mile an hour range. High temperatures, 67 degrees in Pahrump, up to 77 degrees in Laughlin, 71 degrees in the Las Vegas Valley. This is just the beginning. Warming trend will continue all the way through the next work week. We're going to be looking at highs in the mid to upper 70s. I'll break down that full 7-day forecast for you coming up here in about 15 minutes. And as you're heading out the door this morning, hey, you know the drill. If this is your route to work, pump the brakes and give yourself a little extra time. The spaghetti bowl jam-packed this morning. We do have reports of one accident at North Rancho and Vegas Drive. Typical slowdowns out there, so just be careful. For now, we'll send it back over to Jason and Monica.
Thanks, Cassandra. A head-on collision between a teen riding a motorcycle and another teen behind the wheel of a car. And police say both of those drivers should not have been on the road.
The facts of the matter of this is that we have two people out here that shouldn't even have been driving vehicles. The motorcycle rider did not have a motorcycle license, and the driver of the car had an instruction permit.
Police say the 18-year-old female behind the wheel of that car was pulling out from a stop sign at Washington and North Smith Street when the motorcyclist was approaching the intersection, and the two crashed into each other. The 19-year-old motorcyclist was taken to UMC where he died. The other driver stayed on scene. They're still looking to see if speed was a factor in that crash. And about a half hour after that, a pedestrian was hit and killed near Eastern and Tropicana. Police say a driver of a pickup truck hit the victim. The person died at Sunrise Hospital. Police have not said if that pedestrian was in the crosswalk at the time of the crash.
All right, 7:07, going to try and ease up off all that bad news happening and bring you up to speed on what's going on in the political arena. Working to win over minority voters, Hillary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders are here in the Valley battling it out just ahead of the Democratic caucus tomorrow. The two came face-to-face at a town hall at the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health. Now, they focused on issues that directly affect Nevada, mainly immigration, but at one point, man, they did put the gloves on and came out swinging.
We're in a campaign, and the secretary will say what she'll say.
I just don't know where all this comes from, because maybe it's that Senator Sanders wasn't really a Democrat until he decided to run for president.
Oh, them's be fighting words, right? Well, in a recent poll, Clinton's lead over Bernie Sanders has been narrowed to a single point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, part two of the GOP town hall was held in Columbia, South Carolina last night. Republican frontrunner Donald Trump dominated headlines after a visit by Pope Francis to the U.S.-Mexico border. And while reaching out to his followers, the pontiff weighed in on the presidential election. He says building a border wall between the U.S. and Mexico is not a way to address illegal immigration, and it's not Christian. It's one of the things Trump plans to implement if elected president.
He's got an awfully big wall at the Vatican. I think he said something much softer than was originally reported by the media.
So Trump went on to say that he has a lot of respect for the Pope and that he may have been given incorrect information. Candidates John Kasich and Jeb Bush also took questions from potential voters, trying to convince them that they're the ideal candidate just before the primaries in South Carolina tomorrow. And just a reminder, the Democratic caucus is tomorrow in Nevada here. February 20th, the Republican caucus is going to be Tuesday, February 23rd. So buckle your seatbelts.
You better believe it.
Yeah, and also make sure to tune in. We have a special edition of Fox 5 News at 5 tomorrow night. We'll have live coverage of the results from the candidates at local caucus headquarters. For a look at our full election coverage, you can head on over to fox5vegas.com and click on the elections section under the news tab, and John Huck and Christine Mandela will be in for that special report.
Right, absolutely. All right, at 7:09 right now, more top stories for you this morning. The Pope is also in the spotlight for another reason other than the Donald. When asked about aborting fetuses infected with the Zika virus, the Pope says avoiding pregnancy is not an absolute evil for women threatened by the virus. The World Health Organization organization is advising the sexual partners of pregnant women to use condoms or abstain from sex if they live in or have visited Zika-affected areas. Now, the virus is responsible for babies being born with abnormally small heads.
Okay, you're taking a live picture now of the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. as mourners are paying their respects to the late Justice Antonin Scalia. His casket will lay in the Supreme Court today, and after a private ceremony, Scalia's casket will be on public view. Officials say the 79-year-old died of natural causes. His body was found in his room at a West Texas ranch resort. But this is always a real traditional moment because it's the only time you get the Supreme Court justices together on the steps in one place in a public arena. And the last time I think that's happened was when Chief Justice Rehnquist died in 2005.
Wow.
So this is a big day.
Absolutely. All right. Well, at 7:11 right now, so Virgin Galactic will be back at it today, rolling out its new Spaceship 2.
Yeah, it's exciting, but remember what happened to Spaceship One. Yeah, the company believes it will one day take tourists to the edge of space.
Do you really want to go to the edge of space?
I know, right? Lance Bass, doesn't he want to do that?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Today's unveiling comes more than a year after the original spaceship broke apart over the Mojave Desert, killing one pilot and seriously injuring the other. Now, Spaceship 2 is designed to be flown by 2 pilots and will carry up to 6 passengers. Test flights are set to begin later this year, and hundreds of people have put down deposits of $250,000 for a chance to fly into space with Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, even if I could afford it. I don't want to go to the edge. Why do you want to go to the edge of space? Well, ain't nothing out there.
Yeah, I'd be happy just going to Jupiter, Texas. How about that? I don't even know if that's in... Texas has everything. So I know it's somewhere.
Jupiter is somewhere in the 50 states. 7:12 right now.
Flint gets a helping hand from former NBA players.
Yeah, find out what the Detroit-based organization did to ease the stress of the water-strapped community.
So that happy face at Walmart is really grinning this morning.
Yeah.
Find out what employees are getting at the #1 discount department store in the world and how it may even affect the elections.